Okay, guys, we're going to do lesson 3.5, the shapes graphs. So we're going to, the goals for today is to determine whether the function has a line of symmetry, and we so find the line of symmetry. Then we're going to find about the extrema points, meaning the high points and the low points in the graph. And then we're going to determine what type of behavior that different functions show. That's an increase, that's a decrease, and so on and so on. So those are our goals for our lesson for today. So let's start with the line of symmetry. Okay. And before we do that, guys, we need to understand. Just to review, guys, that if you have something like y equals to 3x plus 5, just a regular function. That's a linear function right there, guys. The thing that I want to emphasize is the place of the y right there. We're going to come up with something like you're gonna be using something like f of x instead of y, and we had 3 f of x equals 3x plus 5. Well, they're both the same. They're both equal to each other. Why, guys? And because we will interchange f. Will it be the same thing as f of x, or vice versa? F of x will always equal to y. So we can interchange those values, guys. When you see f of x, that means that you're exchanging the values. Okay. And basically, that means the same thing. F of x means the function of x. For every value of x, it will give you an output for y or f of x. Okay, so the x value is the input will determine the output, which is the y value. Okay. Okay. Let me just let's go to the next to a couple of examples of a line of symmetry. A line of symmetry, guys, is something that is a vertical line that we all use. And this line will, let me give you an example for that. Let me just, okay. Okay, so a line, let me see. The graphs that show a line called a line of symmetry will always be vertical, guys. So, for example, here, you can see the line going this way, that. And it will be across the y-axis, basically. So you can have to have a split the graph in two. The exact number will be on this side, like this side, the exact graph. Okay, so that's why line of symmetry it is. It matches the other side exactly. Okay, let's do another one. Let me just go here real quick. So on this one, guys, you can see that it has this side exactly that side. Splits the graph in two. Okay, we will not talk about across the x-axis because it will not. So if we were to do a line across here, you will see that would not be. See, this line will not work. We are talking about only the x. The x will not work. It will only, we're talking on the y symmetry relates to the y, and only to the y, not to that one. Okay, we'll talk about that later in algebra 2. Okay, now let's look at another one. Let's close this one. Let's go here. And we're gonna go here. Okay, now look at this one. Does this one have a line of symmetry? Okay, remember the line of symmetry is right there, and it does reflect, guys. Can you see it? So here we also can see that we have something split right in half because the line is going right here. You can see it. See, exactly the same length to one side or the other. So this is the length we're talking about here. This one. See, that's the exact length right there. Okay. So with that in mind, guys, let's go to example 1. Okay. Okay. So let's practice just a little bit more on this one. Let me just move over here and let's talk about which of these ones have line of symmetry. Line of symmetry, it's easy, guys. I think you're gonna enjoy this. Okay. So we're gonna come here. Let's look at the first one right there. If I was to do a line of symmetry here, let me see. This one I don't get exact. And see, this one goes below this way, and that one goes that way. I don't get it. The only way I could get this one to be the same is if we had something like this. That would give us a line of symmetry. So therefore, this one does not. It totally does not. Therefore, it doesn't matter where I put the line. If I was to put a line right there, it doesn't give me a line of symmetry. So nothing here, nothing there. So therefore, we cannot have a line of symmetry for this one. Okay. So there is no line of symmetry on this one. It does not display doesn't display any line of symmetry. Okay. So just to make sure that we can check it out. So again, there's no line symmetry here, so there's no line, and does not display any line symmetry. Okay. Now, what about this one over here? Let's look at this one. Let me just go here and erase that. Let's look at the second one. Okay. Let me just go to this one. Okay. Now, if we were to do the line of symmetry somewhere in here, like this, of course there's no line of symmetry. You don't get exactly half, right? So you need to find a point somewhere in here where there should be a line of symmetry. So I come over here, and I can see, guys, that my line of symmetry could be right about. See that where my lowest point is at? That's why this one is so important here, guys. My line of symmetry is indeed right there. If I was to go like this, sorry about that, it's a little bit crooked, but right there. See, that would be exactly half to this way and exactly half right there. So this one does have a line of symmetry when x equals to 5 at the lowest point right here, guys, where we call that, we're going to talk a little bit about that. So at this point at 5, negative 5, yeah, where negative 5 is the lowest point. See? So this one does have a line of symmetry. Yeah. So let me just close this real quick. Let's try. So on this one, there's a line of symmetry at, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was 5. It's 1.5, right? So it's 1. Let me just go here. There's a line of symmetry at 1.5. My fault, guys. There, see? So this would be, I had it wrong in the other one, but this one should be like 1.5, and then negative 5, where negative 5 is the lowest point in the graph. Very good, guys. Okay, so we're getting the hang of it. Okay, let me erase that. Okay, let's try 2 more. Okay, so here we go. Okay, let's try this one, guys. And immediately you can see the line of symmetry should be somewhere right here. Can you see it? Boom, boom. My line of symmetry will be right about there. Okay, that gives me exactly half to the other side. My lowest, where x equals to negative 2. Can you see that? That's my lowest point on this one as well. And it works, guys. So this will be located at negative 2, 0. You see, that's where you can find the lowest point, and my line of symmetry will be right there as well. Okay, that was easy. Okay, now let me go to this one. What about this one? Let's see if we can get that one. Okay, let's look at this one, guys. If I did a line of symmetry somewhere here, so let me see. I did a line of symmetry right there. Uh-oh, I don't get it. Okay, what about here? Uh-oh, I don't get the same thing. What about here? Guys, this one, it doesn't matter where you put it. Does not have a line of symmetry. So this one does not. So we cannot do anything. This one is just no here, no there. Even if I try to do it right there, can you see it? I do not get 2 equal images on both sides. So that one does not have a line of symmetry. Okay. So this one we had a line of symmetry where x equals to -2, right there. We found it. This one, there's no line of symmetry. There's no line. Doesn't display, does not display any symmetry whatsoever. Okay, let's go to example two, guys. Thank you for your patience on this one.